Hi guys, this is Victoria and I'm here with your full moon in Sagittarius reading. So for those of you who are familiar with the format, you know that we are gonna go into the themes first of all. So we'll take a look at the themes of this full moon. What do we need to know in general, the archetypes, the paradigms, and then we will go through each of the zodiac signs and we'll get more specific messages for each. We'll start with Gemini, as we are in Gemini season right now, and we'll go around to Taurus. These readings are going to be for Sun, Moon, and Rising of a zodiac sign, so definitely check out readings for the three placements. It's going to be a more well-rounded message for you. But if you only have time for a quick message, and there will be timestamps so you can easily move around the signs, I suggest that you check the message for a moon sign, because we're talking about full moon here. So without further ado, let's get going. If you're new, please subscribe to the channel. Definitely for everyone watching, please hit that like button and let's get started. So I will start with three oracle cards. Today I've got the Cosmic Journey Oracle with me, and just as I'm doing a little additional shuffle here, I'm going to remind you that first of all, full moons are about closing cycles, they're about insights, they're about release and closure. I know they're not all the same thing, but they're kind of connected if you think about it, and in different cycles you may see the focus on like different aspects of it. Somewhere like the focus or the highlight is going to be getting some new information that you didn't have before, like a missing piece of puzzle that now like all makes sense. For others, it will be more about finding closure with an old situation. I don't know, maybe there was a grudge somewhere, maybe there was no goodbyes and somebody just cut you off, or you did that to them, right? So a lot of times it can be connected to forgiveness. And just finding peace with one chapter being closed and being ready to open the next one, or at least to be curious about the next one. I think that is the most important part. And of course, since this is Sagittarius sign that this full moon is in, it's 20 degrees Sagittarius to be precise. So if you have any of the planets or asteroids 20 degrees, so like 1 or 2 degrees, one like off, you know, plus or minus, then those aspects are gonna be impacted the most. And Sagittarius energy is first of all the fire energy, so feel free to do burning rituals, especially to release, to get rid of some burdens, whatever that is, maybe past upset or fears. But also this is a sign of optimism, enthusiasm, of dreaming, of philosophy, and just like conceptualizing things. It's kind of an abstract energy, right? As opposed to the Gemini, where the sun is right now. The Gemini is specifically details, data, you know, like everything in order. Sagittarius is kind of like more just expansive energy that is all about setting the vision, right? And then Gemini will build an actual roadmap and an actual plan. So this is just to give you an idea of what the energy is, and I personally feel like it's gonna be like this combination, this time is great for revisiting your vision, right? Or your understanding of the world, or you know, your philosophical views, your ambition in life, you know, and not being afraid to say goodbye to something that didn't happen for you, right? Maybe you had this big dream for a while and now it's time to admit that you're not the same person anymore, so why are you chasing the same dream, right? And it should be okay, like the acceptance that it's okay to leave it behind without even completing that goal, you know, without fulfilling that dream. It's okay to leave it there and move on to what matters most right now, to what this new vision is. All right, with all that said, I'm gonna move to the main themes. The first one, listen, in stillness you meet your true self. I love it. There's a third eye chakra here highlighted in the drawing. More than anything is listen to your intuition. You know, don't pay too much attention to the surface, you know, to the, you know, the artificial world. That's what I'm hearing. I mean, it's kind of a big word, but that's the message that I get with this. Or you know how they say about the Wizard of Oz, like pay attention to the man behind the curtain, something like that. You know, like it's not about the show that's in front of you, it's something subtle that needs to be acknowledged at this time. And that's what the full moon is going to illuminate for you and help you see. But it's important, and I love actually that there is kind of a fiery energy coming out of this third eye chakra. But more than anything, it is about intuition. So it's like seeing it, but with your third eye, or listening to it with your heart. Okay, that was the first one. The second one is a light grows brighter only by lighting another. I love again the reference to the fire here, right? Like your fire pretty much automatically ignites others if it's authentic, coming from the heart, and you're really passionate about something. So remember that. And if you're choosing between different directions for your vision, for your future, definitely this is a very important concept to take into consideration, right? I'm not saying just like go with the easiest way, and maybe this won't actually be the easiest, but if you're excited, that's gonna be like that wind in your sails, you know, that's gonna be helping you get where you want to get to. And in a subtle way, like that's really how we read, how we recognize what our passion is and move into that direction. And if right now you don't, it's not a message for someone, if right now you don't know how it's gonna you know, what is the connection between your own fire and lighting someone else, you'll find out. Follow the path of the fire and you'll find out how much of an impact it makes for people around you. And the third one is number 10. Deliver your greatest gift to the world. Oh, I love it. Pretty much all of them are about your mission and purpose, about your passion, maybe your art, you know, and it's time, baby. It's time to deliver it to the world. That's what I'm hearing with pretty much all three of these cards, but in a little bit different way. Okay, so we'll leave it here. And yeah, by the way, again, this doesn't need to be super complex. It doesn't need to be a cure for cancer or anything like that. It can be something that you're passionate about. And like I was saying just earlier, it will automatically have an impact on other people, whether it's healing, whether it's generally inspirational, bringing them joy, maybe making them laugh. Like all of that is going to be rewarding, you know, for them, and it will come back to you as some good karma. Okay, with all that said, we're gonna move into tarot and go with messages for each sign. Now, I'm considering which deck out of the two that I have with me in my travel should I pick. I'm still in Montreal, by the way. I have the Celtic and the Witch's Tarot. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Witch's Tarot for this one. So we'll start with Gemini. Let's see what does Gemini need to know about this full moon in Sagittarius. What does Gemini need to know? Okay, that was intense. 4 wands, I like where it's going. Clarification. 5 of Cups, 10 of Cups. Wow. Yeah, you know what? This full moon is helping you leave behind the past heartache, so that you can open the door to something beautiful, to a life partner that will be loyal, that will have the same vision with you. But it's important, if you feel like there's still some sadness or some grieving in your heart, it's important to close that chapter. And this could be this would be a great opportunity for that. You can look up information about forgiveness, about letting go. But remember that a lot of times it's really about forgiving yourself. Because oftentimes we go into this spins of thinking, I could have done something different, or maybe I could have said that, I could have done that, so it would turn out better. But know that right now it's important to accept what happened. If you've learned lessons, excellent. But don't let this energy prevent you from stepping into this one. I mean, 10 of Cups and 4 wands is like a jackpot. I'm so happy for you, Gemini. This is exciting. Oh my God. And this is actually where it is. 10 of Cups is about family. Because in the classical Rider-Waite, it's more about the community, camaraderie, you know, and this specifically is a couple, and we can assume that those are children playing together, dancing together. So yeah, family life. If you are already married, then this is going to be a next new phase, new cycle of this married life that you didn't even think that was possible. In your case, with this person, you know, under the circumstances that you're in. All right, that was Gemini. Now let's go to Cancer. And do a quick shuffle. Does it need to be so thorough, I guess? All right, let's do this. All right, got something pretty quickly. There was a King of Cups, but kind of fell upside down, so I'm gonna take it like that. There is Page of Swords and 10 of Swords. Wow. Wow. Cancer. I mean, you are a water sign and this is water energy, but it feels like you're disconnected from your feelings and emotions. And as much as you feel like right now it makes you weak, or it's not the time, or it's too painful to face that, it's important to reconnect. Right? You can still show yourself grace with whatever you've been through, whoever hurt you. You can still take your time without making any new commitments, or I don't know, maybe showing up in society for different events, maybe doing some travel, whatever feels unsafe right now, whatever feels like you don't want to go there. You know, you don't have to go there, but be more connected to where you are and who you are, and respect that, and show some love to yourself, right? Like being disconnected from your feelings and emotions, even if they are not the ones that you want to feel, it's not gonna protect you for much longer, and it's definitely not a way forward. Like it's gonna be a dead end, essentially. So you deserve better, Cancer, please. Come back to your feelings. For some, I'm hearing you may want to find a trustful friend, or a mentor, or a therapist, or a coach. That could be beneficial, so think about that, but don't close off. All right, next we go with Leo. For Leo, we have 10 of Wands, 8 of Swords, and Strength. Wow, Strength is your card, Leo. And you are reclaiming your strengths during this time. This is pretty cool, because it seems like you've been disconnected from your personal wants and needs, or having your own outlook on your future. It's like you felt like there were a lot of responsibilities around you, and there were things that you had to do, right? At some point you saw you were picking up more and more responsibilities, where it wasn't really appropriate even, right? It wasn't necessary, but you still did. It almost like it went down like a domino effect, and there was just more and more and more happening, and you felt bad about not taking care of people, situations, and you just kept going with it, kept rolling, and kept picking it up after other people, and sorting things out and straightening things out. But it's time to reclaim your power and your courage, you know. And you know, Leo energy is about like being seen, is about standing strong in your center, is about being unapologetically you, right? So it's time to come back to that fire. And because this full moon is in another fire sign, right? This is your element. So also I recommend actually using some fire during this time. It doesn't have to be burning ritual. It can be lighting up a candle, or spend a little bit of time by a fire pit somewhere, right? And you can set your intention, so you can speak your truth, whatever it is, even if the truth is gonna be I'm sick and tired of what's been going on, or I'm just literally physically tired of all this stuff I've been dealing with, right? Because this is more about being tired emotionally, this is more about being tired physically, or it could be both, definitely. All right, that was for Leo. Next we go to Virgo. What does Virgo need to know during this full moon in Sagittarius? Okay, something flipped. I'm gonna take it. 4 cards. Okay, let's do it. Two of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, Page of Wands, and the World. Well, the World is about ending the cycle, but also both of these cards are about travel. So you could be partaking a trip, maybe with your soulmate, could be a romantic partner, could be a friend, family member. The only thing that I would say is that it feels like there's still work to do to get there, right? So maybe this travel is needed in order for you to see some things. Like during the travel, during the trip, you'll get some insights that are gonna help you figure out either your feelings, for some I'm getting, or figure out how to move forward in the situation with your soulmate, right? There's definitely some kind of scenario unfolding with a soulmate, right? But right now, for some of you, it feels like you don't have enough information. For others, it feels like it can go either way. You don't want to rush into decisions, right? So take your time for it, and maybe take some space as well. Go away, do me time, or go away to travel with a different person. I'm not saying like if it's a romantic partner, go with a different person, but you know what I mean. Like take a friend, I don't know. But you know, somebody who's different from this person, so that you can get clarity in your head, you know, and you can do a bit of homework too. For some of you, it will be connected with legal questions, or actually changing your life situation, maybe moving in together, maybe moving to a different location. And so before definitely saying yes or no, it's important to do due diligence, do your homework, and figure out what is it all about. Okay, that was Virgo. Now we'll go to Libra. Libra. What does Libra need to know during this full moon in Sagittarius? Okay, got something. Queen of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, Six of Cups. Oh, I love this. This is fire, by the way. So you could be dealing with Aries, Leo, Sag. Or it could be you in your power, in your wisdom, knowing what you want and going for it. This is also a very passionate person. So take it how it resonates, whether it's for you or for your counterpart. But there's a lot of passion, and it looks like it's bringing you closer with your person. Or if you're single right now, you will be attracting your person very soon, right? But it's important to, first of all, have a vision for what family life, or what long-term abundance it looks like for you, at least from the current standpoint. You don't need to like consider all the different things that could happen in the next 10 years, right? But at least from where you stand right now, what kind of life do you want to build? What are your expectations? How do you see it? And also kids are here in the picture. So that means that you could be starting a family, having kids. It could mean that at this time you see kids being more and more important in your life in terms of your values and priorities. Or it could also mean for some of you that an old flame, or you know, someone you knew from back in the day, is coming back into your life. So for those who maybe were waiting for it, this is your confirmation that this person is thinking about you and they want to come back into your life. As long as you're in this passionate and open energy, they will get attracted. There's no doubt about that. Okay, now we go to Scorpio. What does Scorpio need to know during this full moon in Sagittarius? Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and Five of Cups. Okay, so Scorpio, for you, you may have felt that in the past something happened that where you felt like your power was taken away from you, or you were some kind of piece or important part of your lifestyle that you couldn't do it anymore because of a certain person, certain circumstances. And there's still certain sadness about it. There's some regret, like, oh, if I didn't connect with that person, I would have been much further along with my abundance right now. Or, like I spent, sometimes people say I spent my best years on this person. I could, you know, wanted to have a family with them, and that didn't happen. And now it feels like it was a waste of time. But the truth is that you needed that experience in order to have this new wonderful beginning. So again, find your peace with this, forgive and forget. Well, you know, they say forgive and forget. I'm not necessarily confident personally, subjectively, that forgetting is the best idea, but forgiving is definitely critical, right? Forgive yourself for making those choices, forgive the other person if they didn't meet your expectations and they weren't the person that you wanted them to be. And by the way, Queen of Pentacles doesn't mean that it's necessarily female. It could be male as well. It's more of an energy, more of a nurturing energy, more of like creating the family kind of vibe. But this huge Ace of Pentacles is on the horizon. It's on the table now. Are you going to be ready to receive it? Or are you still going to be in a protective energy where you don't let anything new in, right? The choice is your Scorpio. And Scorpios kind of tend to hold the grudge or tend to take a while to get over certain things. So, you know, this could be an opportunity to let go of some of that old stuff. Maybe it's been holding you back for a while. You just didn't know that. So for some of you, if you're thinking, I don't think this is my situation, like this could have happened 5 years ago. But if there's still some kind of regret or a grudge or pain, where you're still, when you're talking about this person, like to a friend or someone like that, like you're still angry or you still start crying, there's definitely something there to look at, right? Don't let this opportunity get away. And this, by the way, doesn't necessarily have to be about money. It could be, but it could also be an opportunity in a relationship, something tangible in the physical. It could be an opportunity for your mission and purpose, for whatever your passion is in life, right? Maybe you're starting a new business or you've dreamt about it and there is a sponsor somewhere around the corner, but they're not getting through to you because there is this pain that's blocking that right now. Okay, what does Sagittarius need to know about full moon in Sagittarius? That would be fun to see. Full moon in your sign. I feel like it always kind of, regardless even of the degree, it kind of amplifies your own energy, you know, kind of, you are able to feel more of your own power during this time. Let's see. Speaking of it, King of Pentacles, clarified by Two of Cups and Lovers. Wow, this is jackpot in love for you, Sagittarius. This is very cool. This is like different angles of family life, of committed love partnership. And this is beautiful. I mean, I'm feeling this energy. It's flowing right now through me and it's amazing. Whatever you want, whatever your vision is, clarify it, please, because the universe wants to give it all to you. They just need to know, or they or it, I don't know. The universe needs to know what is it exactly that you want right now. And yes, there may still be some adjustments where you will get what you need, not what you want. But primarily, it's important for you to set intention for what is that fairy tale for you, or what exactly you're looking for. Maybe you've already found your person and you want to create a family and have kids. Maybe you want to finally have a place of your own, and I don't know, start a new hobby with your person. Maybe you want them to understand you better and for you to feel more like soulmates on that level, where your communication is much better and you're more in sync with each other. Right? Whatever it is, dream it and send it to the universe. Okay, that was Sagittarius. Now we'll go to Capricorn. What does Capricorn need to know about this full moon Sagittarius? Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. Wow, a lot of Pentacles today, and Five of Cups. And this is the third time that I'm getting Five of Cups. Interesting, very interesting. Capricorn, I mean, this is your energy, Queen of Pentacles. So there's definitely a certain focus on building abundance, building a name for yourself, succeeding with something tangible, with something in the physical, right? But there is this pain from the past, there is this ghost from the past, I even wanted to say, that is like, it's like a ballast, it's like a burden that's burning you down. If you imagine like a hot air balloon and those bags of sand, like those are the extra bags of sand that are not letting you take off, right? So there's definitely something here. It could have been that you thought that you've let yourself down, or you made some bad choices, let people talk you into some bad choices, and now it feels like you don't have the resources to go along with your dream, right? Like, forgive yourself and forgive those other people. And we had that topic at the beginning. You know, it's more about your passion right now. Have the forward thinking, focus on the future. That's what Sagittarius is asking you to do, right? And don't ignore this. You need to close that gap, to close that kind of draft that is currently present in your field. And that will really help you speed up progress with whatever that new vision, new goal is. Okay, that was Capricorn. Now we'll go to Aquarius. Let's go to Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to know during this full moon in Sagittarius? We have King of Wands. We have Temperance. And we have, oh my god, Five of Cups. This is literally like the 5th time I'm getting this card. And I keep shuffling really well through the deck, but I guess that's just the energy, you know? And that's, actually it's interesting because like, I spoke about it at the beginning, because the full moon energy is usually about release, about closure. It's really important to find closure on the past hurts, because we tend to focus more on what we want and the new stuff, and kind of like, okay, that was bad experience, but I don't want to talk about it. I just want to focus on what's in front of me, which is a great thing in general, but it doesn't mean that you can just ignore the unresolved issue from the past, whether it's personal or professional, whether it's just you criticizing yourself deep down, you're not telling anyone, but you know it. So whatever that is, Aquarius, please look at it and see where you need to show yourself more love, more grace, more compassion. It doesn't mean that you're going to be repeating the same mistake, right? Maybe you legit, behaved badly, right? Take your lessons from it, but please forgive yourself for not knowing better in that particular moment. And for now, you have also King of Wands and Temperance, which are great energies because it's passion on the one side, and that's the energy of the Sagittarius that we'll be talking about today. It's full moon in Sagittarius. But also Temperance, and Temperance, by the way, is also Sagittarian energy, but Temperance is more about patience and alchemizing. The vibrations, the energies, the yin and the yang, all that good stuff. It's not just about the yin, it's not just about the yang. It needs to have both, just like water and fire in these two cards. Just like compassion and going into your feelings, but also having the fire to take steps forward, decisive steps forward. Right? So see where you can find more of that balance, so you're not being carried away into one area or the other, but you can actually you can operate within both the masculine and the feminine energies. And all of us have both, by the way, right? So it's not just about driving your ego into an extreme of one of the energies and thinking, oh, okay, but I'm a masculine, right? So it's good for me. Not exactly. The best, you have your highest level of power when you can balance out the two. You can recognize both, and you live in the balanced state of the both. Okay, now we move to Pisces. Pisces. What does Pisces need to know about full moon in Sagittarius? Ooh, that jumped out quickly. Knight of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. Look at all the pentacles today. And Strengths. This is Leo energy, actually. So I would say that all of these cards are kind of strange and unfamiliar for Pisces in general. This is about planning. This is about taking your time and taking small steps. And this is about courage, right? Pisces is like everything else but this. But this is the challenge, right? This is seeing the virtue in these qualities. See where maybe these qualities, even especially if you've been rebellious against them, see how they can help you now. The courage to, you have the courage to step into the unknown. That's, kudos for you. Do you have the courage to speak up about it to present yourself that way to the public, to walk your talk, so to speak, right? Are you able to be patient and take it slowly, either in a relationship or with anything else in life, or you need results tomorrow, right? And also the planning makes some planning goes a long way, you know. It's not to plan every minute of every day of your time or your finances or whatever, but there's definitely an opportunity right now with some planning, with maybe some investment, maybe it's just generally planning your time better. It could be doing a little planning on your future goals. And that, for some of you, it's even relevant in the relationship area, by the way, in romantic partnership. And again, some may be thinking, how can you plan that? Like, oh, it's so dry, it's so surface level. But we live in 3D world, so whether we like it or not, from time to time we need to integrate down into, you know, planet Earth, earthly aspects of our life that, whether we like it or not, include, you know, 3D level physical stuff. They include money and abundance, and they include you know, taking steps in the physical. It's not about just creating a vision in your head or in your meditation or in your dreams. It's about now taking steps to make it happen. And this full moon will give you a clue on what the next step is. All right, for Aries, we have the High Priest or the Hierophant. This is Taurus energy, actually. 5 of Swords and 6 of Pentacles. Interesting. So it looks like a certain investment in your future. And for some of you, it could be, of course, career opportunities. For some, it could be about your identity, about your status in general. I don't really see much here about relationships. Hierophant is, to some degree, a card that could signify making a relationship official. So take it how it resonates, but I don't feel it generally with the energy of the cards, right? To me, it's more about seeing the truth on what you're spending your resources on, whether it's time, energy, money, or any other kind of resources, right? Consider what the expectation is of you from your colleagues, from your boss, from I don't know, the government, maybe your family, maybe your parents have expectations of you supporting them, right? What are the expectations of other people and how you spend your time, your energy, your money, etc. Versus what do you actually want, and what feels good, what feels right, what feels like it's a fair energy of reciprocity, reciprocal energy. Know where that energy is flowing. It's not just hitting a dead end where it's like on paper you're supposed to do it, but it actually doesn't feel right, doesn't feel good, right? Look into that illusion or into that, I don't want to say lie necessarily, because it feels to me like you know that that's not the right thing. So nobody's lying really. It's more like, what are you agreeing to, right? And maybe you need a new agreement with yourself and also with other people involved. All right, and I think last but not least, we have Taurus. What does Taurus need to know during this full moon in Sagittarius? Taurus, what does Taurus need to know? Six of Cups. Blessed from the past, is it? King of Pentacles, this is your energy. And the Lovers, oh my god, I love it. Love the love. And by the way, that's Taurus, you know. I mean, Lover is actually Gemini energy, just to be clear. But Taurus is governed by Venus. So, you know, Taurus is love, love. But yeah, there's all 3 cards can actually be taken as a more sentimental energy, romantic, but also practical, just like the Taurus is. Actually, Taurus is both. Right? So you're stepping into that power of being, I don't know, the head of the family, or, you know, in the spouse energy. It could be male or female, it doesn't have to be male necessarily, but this is a spouse energy where you're thinking about kids, you're thinking about romance and passion, and of course the practical aspects of life, which could be a place to live, I don't know, things like even like car or It could be legal status in a new country, or having a joint bank account, or filing taxes, like whatever it is, right? Like it's the practical aspects of building a life together with someone. If you're in a new relationship, this is getting serious pretty quickly. If you have been with your person for a while, like this is an opportunity to reset and rekindle the romance, the passion, and the purpose. You know, like what is the purpose of the two of you as a couple, right? Like individually and together, and maybe redirecting your life into those directions, into something that excites you both. And remember, again, with this Sagittarius full moon, it's all about what gives you passion, right? What is your ambition also, but it should be connected with passion, with what feels right in your heart, you know, some like your inner fire, that once you express yourself this way, it will inevitably inspire and ignite that fire in people around you. And I'm sure you can relate to that, about that with regards to someone in love, you know, but like fully in love. It's not just like love bombing or, you know, having pink glasses on. This is like very mature level of love. But I'm sure that you can relate if you see a couple who has this wonderful relationship, who have this multi-dimensional love, that it immediately melts your heart, it makes you smile. Hopefully you're happy for these people and you're like, wow, that's a precious thing that you have together. So congratulations, Taurus, on that. And with all that said, this was the last sign. I started with Gemini, so we went all around. I hope these messages were useful for you guys. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel if you are new. And until next time,